Have you ever felt it? That nagging sense that something's not quite right? That you're capable of so much more, yet something is holding you back? That invisible weight holding you back just as you reach for something meaningful. Just as you're about to grasp that dream, that opportunity, that creative breakthrough. It's a frustrating feeling, isn't it? Like an unseen force is determined to keep you where you are. It's a common ache, this feeling of being stuck right at the edge of your art. That moment when inspiration wanes and the blank canvas seems to mock your ambition. The creative well feels dry, and the joy you once found in your craft seems distant. It's like your feet are in concrete, immovable, heavy, and utterly restricting. You try to take a step forward, but you're met with resistance. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. You see the path ahead, a clear road stretching towards your goals. You know where you want to go. Your heart yearns for it. That destination calls to you, promising fulfillment and joy. But movement feels impossible. The gap between where you are and where you want to be seems insurmountable. This isn't about lacking talent or desire. It's not a question of skill or passion. You have the ability, the drive, and the potential to achieve great things. It's something deeper, a whisper that says, stay small, stay safe. Remain within the confines of your comfort zone, where there's no risk of failure or judgment. And we listen more often than not. We heed that voice of self-doubt, allowing it to dictate our choices and limit our potential. This unseen anchor has many names: procrastination, that insidious habit of putting things off, delaying the inevitable, and avoiding the work that truly matters. Perfectionism, the relentless pursuit of flawlessness, leading to endless revisions and a crippling fear of imperfection. Fear, the primal emotion that paralyzes us, preventing us from taking risks and stepping outside our comfort zones. Comparison, the thief of joy, constantly measuring ourselves against others, leading to feelings of inadequacy and envy. Imposter syndrome, that persistent feeling of being a fraud, despite evidence of our competence and accomplishments. The need to please, the constant desire for external validation, sacrificing our own needs and desires to gain the approval of others. The urge to hide, to shrink away from the spotlight, to avoid attention, and to remain invisible. These are the ropes that keep us tethered to the shore, binding us to the familiar and preventing us from venturing into the unknown, preventing us from sailing into the vast ocean of our potential, from exploring the uncharted waters of our creativity and discovering the depths of our capabilities. But what if I told you this anchor isn't your enemy? What if this seemingly restrictive force is actually serving a purpose? Maybe it's a scared part of you, trying to protect you from imagined storms, from the potential pain of failure, rejection, or criticism. Understanding this is the first step, recognizing that these limitations are not malicious, but rather misguided attempts at self-preservation. The first gentle tug toward loosening its grip, acknowledging the fear, but choosing not to be controlled by it. And setting your true self free, free to create, to explore, and to become the artist you were always meant to be. Let me tell you about Maria, a truly gifted artist. She was a painter with a soul full of color, a vibrant spirit eager to express itself on canvas. Her passion was infectious, her talent undeniable. Her studio was vibrant, a kaleidoscope of inspiration. Sunlight streaming through the windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air, and blank canvases waiting patiently for her touch. They stood as silent sentinels, holding the promise of untold stories. She had a vision, a grand artistic endeavor taking shape in her mind. A series about resilience and the beauty of imperfection, a celebration of the human spirit in all its flawed glory. It was a project close to her heart, something she felt compelled to create. She bought the best paints, pigments rich and vibrant, capable of capturing the nuances of her vision, the finest brushes, each one carefully chosen for its unique ability to translate her thoughts into tangible form. New canvases, stretched and primed, ready to receive the first strokes of her masterpiece. Weeks of sketching led to breathtaking compositions, intricate designs that hinted at the power and emotion she intended to convey. Her friends and family saw the spark. "Maria, this is the work you were born to do." They were captivated by her ideas, convinced that she was on the verge of creating something truly special. She'd smile, basking in their encouragement and support. But a shadow crossed her face, a flicker of doubt that threatened to extinguish the flame of her inspiration. Days turned to weeks, then months, the initial excitement slowly giving way to a gnawing sense of unease. The magnificent canvas remained blank, a stark white void that seemed to mock her ambition, or covered in tentative strokes, fleeting bursts of color that were quickly deemed inadequate and painted over white again, erasing any trace of her initial efforts. "It's not quite right yet," she'd murmur, her voice laced with frustration. "The light isn't perfect. The composition feels off." "I need to do more research," she'd tell herself, seeking solace in art books and historical references. Excuses piled up, each one a carefully constructed barrier against the vulnerability of creation. Her energy dimmed, the vibrant spark that once defined her now flickering weakly. Joy replaced by frustration, the simple act of painting transformed into a torturous exercise in self-criticism. Maria wasn't lazy or untalented, far from it. She possessed both skill and a deep well of creativity. She was caught in the loop, a vicious cycle of perfectionism and procrastination. The fear of not meeting expectations, especially her own, paralyzed her, preventing her from taking the necessary risks to bring her vision to life. The masterpiece in her head, so vivid and complete, never made it to the canvas, trapped within the confines of her own self-doubt. The canvas remained empty, a silent testament to self-sabotage, a poignant reminder of the dreams that can be lost to the tyranny of perfection. Perfectionism. It sounds noble, a striving for excellence, but often it's a gilded cage, beautiful and confining. It whispers, "It's not good enough yet. You'll be judged if it's flawed. Wait until you're truly ready." But ready never arrives. This isn't about high standards. High standards inspire growth. Perfectionism is rooted in shame, the fear of being seen as imperfect. So we polish and repolish until the soul of the work is gone, or we never even start. Imagine a garden where every petal must be flawless. You hover, fret, prune, maybe even uproot a bloom for a blemish. Soon the garden is barren, or never planted. Procrastination is perfectionism's twin. The task feels monumental, the standard impossibly high, so starting becomes terrifying. We delay, distract ourselves, anything to avoid facing that canvas, that blank page, that silent instrument. The fear of failure, disguised as not feeling it. Then there's the fear of judgment, that ever-present anxiety that someone somewhere will find fault in what we create. It's a heavy weight to carry, this anticipation of criticism, the roaring crowd in our heads, even when the room is silent. We conjure up an audience, ready to pounce on any perceived flaw. We imagine critics, picking apart our deepest expressions, scrutinizing every brushstroke, every note, every word. These aren't just casual observers. They're hypercritical judges in our minds. This fear can be paralyzing. It can freeze us in our tracks, preventing us from even starting, let alone finishing a project. It shrinks our world, makes us want to hide, to retreat from the possibility of exposure and potential ridicule. We seek the shadows where we feel safer. It's an echo chamber of negativity, one doubtful thought bouncing off another, amplifying our insecurities and fears. The whispers become shouts. What if they laugh? What if our efforts are met with scorn and derision? The fear of mockery can be a powerful deterrent. What if they think I'm a fraud? That I'm not talented enough, not skilled enough, not worthy of the attention? What if no one likes it? What if our creation is met with indifference? Or worse, outright rejection? These voices drown out our intuition, the quiet knowing that guides us, the inner compass that points us toward our true creative path. The hum of our creative spirit, the gentle vibration that fuels our passion, is silenced by the cacophony of doubt. This is where imposter syndrome thrives, that insidious feeling that we're not good enough, that we're just pretending, the feeling we're faking it, that any success is luck, and soon we'll be found out, exposed as the frauds we believe ourselves to be. So, we play small. We minimize our efforts, downplay our talents, and avoid taking risks. We don't submit our work, don't share our songs. The fear of judgment keeps our creations locked away, unseen and unheard. Don't speak our truth. We hold back our opinions, stifle our voices, and conform to expectations. We dim our own light, hoping to avoid the spotlight and judgment, to blend into the background and escape scrutiny. We build walls around our creativity, fortresses of self-doubt and fear that keep our ideas imprisoned, not to keep others out, but to keep our fragile selves safe, to shield ourselves from the perceived threat of criticism and rejection. Sometimes, the dream feels safer kept in fantasy than risked in reality. In our minds, the book is a bestseller. The song tops the charts. No rejections, no failures. Bringing a creative idea to life is an act of vulnerability. Wrestling the perfect dream into reality is messy, frustrating, and rarely matches the vision at first. So, we choose the safety of someday. Someday, I'll write that novel. Someday when things calm down. But someday is always just over the horizon, protecting us from the risk of trying, and the sting of not succeeding. The fear of rejection is powerful. When we put our art into the world, we put ourselves out there. If the art is rejected, it can feel like we are being rejected. And that's a pain we instinctively avoid, even if it means keeping our gifts hidden. Let's pause. Breathe. No judgment, just a gentle turning inward. When you feel the urge to retreat, procrastinate, perfect, or hide, what are you really afraid of? Is it the fear of not being good enough, the ache of inadequacy, or the fear of being truly seen, flaws and all? Maybe it's the fear of success, the unknown, the new expectations. Think about a creative project you avoid. What stories are you telling yourself about it? Are these stories true or echoes from the past? What if these fears aren't weakness but signals, pointing to something tender that needs your compassion? What part of you is trying so hard to keep you safe? This isn't about blame, it's about courageous curiosity. Let's reframe this. What if self-sabotage isn't a flaw, but a misguided protector? Maybe it learned its job long ago, when vulnerability felt dangerous. This protector, your guardian, means well. Its job is to keep you safe from pain, shame, rejection. It remembers when you dared greatly and fell, and it vowed never again. So now it throws up roadblocks, procrastination, perfectionism, doubts, fear of judgment, all to steer you away from perceived danger. But these old strategies now keep you from joy, growth, and connection. Instead of fighting this guardian, what if you approached it with compassion? Thank you for trying to protect me. I see you. I am safe now. I am strong. I can handle what comes. This dialogue can change everything. It's about integration, not amputation. Imagine your creative desire as a still pond, muffled by self-sabotage. Now, you see its nature, the fear, the protection. The path to freedom isn't a giant leap. It's one small, courageous act. What is one micro-action you can take today? Not the whole symphony, just one note. Maybe it's opening the file, finding your old brushes, or writing for 5 minutes. This small stone creates ripples, breaking the stillness of inaction. It proves to your guardian you can take a small risk and survive. Each tiny act builds evidence. You are capable, it's safe to create, your voice matters. This isn't about results at first. It's about the process, the showing up. That first small step is a victory. A vote for yourself, your art, your dreams. It's a quiet rebellion against fear, a gentle nudge to your guardian. It's okay, we can do this. Breaking free from self-sabotage is brave work, and it's not meant to be done alone. We are wired for connection. Creativity blossoms in safe spaces where we feel seen and encouraged. Imagine a shared studio filled with light and understanding hearts. Here, struggles are met with empathy. Me Too is a powerful balm. Sharing our small steps and vulnerabilities demystifies the creative process and strengthens our courage. So as you consider your own small, brave action, share it if you feel called in a journal, with a friend, or a creative community. Your story, your step, matters. It can be a beacon for someone else. Let us create bravely, not in spite of our fears, but alongside them. The world needs your art, your unique voice, your vision. Let's fill this shared studio with the sounds and sights of our becoming.